If you love cats, you should see this next project I'm making today. So I found this AI generated image on Facebook. It was on my Facebook wall. And then I was thinking to myself, can I make this on a knitting machine? Because it's actually crochet. Even though it's AI generated, it's crochet, it's not knitting. But I decided to make on my Sentro 22 for the small little pieces, and on my Sentro 44 circular knitting machine, I decided to make this cat. And also because in this building where I live, you're not allowed to have pets. And you guys let me know, like, does this happen in the country where you live, where people say you can't have pets anymore and you can't have kids, and there's all these things. So anyway, I don't think that's right, but I can't have pets. So I decided to make my own cat because I love cats. And I decided to actually show you how I made as well. So the cat's here right in front of me, and I'm gonna show you the whole step by step on how to make it. I used this yarn here, which is worsted weight yarn, and I'm gonna show you now how cute it is. I made, look at the face, it's so cute, hello. And so I made 3 pockets for remote controllers. This cat's gonna sit on the couch exactly like the one you saw in this AI generated image. And so I'm going to give you all the instructions, but I'm also gonna leave a link down in the description below if you wanna print the instructions and have it for yourself, because it's really adorable. It has a space here, as you can see, to use as a cup holder as well, if you wanna do that, or if you just wanna close it and use as a remote controller or phone holder, you can do that too. So guys, let's get started. This project is gonna take you around a day, okay? It's a lot of pieces, and the entire face is embroidered, so it's gonna take a while for you to make, but I think it's a great project, so cute. Anyway, guys, I would love to see if you make yours. I would love to see on the Facebook group. The link for the Facebook groups down in the description below, and I would love to see if you could share your own cat that you made. I would love to see yours too. So let's get started, guys. So guys, just to explain the pieces, so the head's gonna be one piece because I'm making the ears just like this one. This is a beanie, a cat beanie I just made for kids. So the head's gonna be sort of like this. That's what I'm imagining. So one piece for the head, which is this one, with 44 rows, cinched on one side, started with waste yarn on the beginning, 44 rows. And then the second, I made 2 little legs that have 32 rows each. These are the legs. So I'm going to put all the rows in an article down in the description below for you guys to follow. But there's 32 rows for each one of the legs. And they are cinched on one side and just cast off with the tapestry needle, some waste yarn. Same with the tail, I cinched the tail. The tail has 60 rows. This is the tail. And then the body, I started with the same yarn, no waste yarn, just the normal yarn as if you were making a beanie, just like a beanie. And this one has 64 rows. Again, I'm gonna put the stripes there on inside this article for you guys to have a look. But I'm thinking I'm gonna cinch the body on both sides like this, and then make the cup space right here in the middle, and then I'm going to seam just like this, something like this, okay? So these are the pieces I made already. And I made a nose as well that I'm going to add some stuffing in it. The nose I made on a Sentro 22, okay? So all this I made on a Sentro 22. The tail, the legs, and the nose of the cat. And then all the rest I made on the Centro 48. Now for these pockets here, if you don't like to make panels, you can make 100 rows and 2 tubes here. That's the part that's gonna come down and hold the remote control and whatever you want to put in there. Okay, I'm going to be making as panels so I can go away with only 1 ball of yarn instead of 2. So I'm going to be making this first panel now. It's gonna be, oh no, actually I thought I'm making a full panel of 100 rows. So you make whatever you think's better, but I think one side each color would be cool. I'm still thinking. What do you think? Leave me let me know in the comments what you think. Which color should I make? I'm going to try and make only 1 color and then start with the pink and then move to the brown after. That's what I'm going to do, so I can use only 1 ball of yarn because I don't have more of the brown. Just so you know. So then I just decided I'm making pink here and then I'm making brown here. Okay, so I'm making 30 rows in this 1 color in pink and then all the remaining 70 rows in this color here. So I'm going to use waste yarn this time. I'll need the one there. I'm going to cast on to work on the panel mold, but as I said, from needle 1 here. But as I said, if you want to make 2 tubes, you can make 2 tubes as well and just mattress stitch them in the middle after, okay? I'm going to cast on 42 stitches because I'm thinking of making an edge around, a crochet edge around it as well, just so it holds the controller better and it holds a little more weight than just, you know, just kneading it. So here, I want to work with this needle here, so I'm going to go around like this and then start making your way back. Make sure this needle grab the yarn on the beginning. And this is how you work a panel. I always work panels with my hands as well, with my fingers. I always make the tension with my fingers if you're new to my channel. Just because I think it is easier, because when I reach an edge, I always like to pull with this finger. 1 second. I like to pull on the edge with this finger, so the edge stitches are always tied. Okay, so I'm making only 4 rows here, 3 rows here. Then I'm going straight to this other side. Make sure always the loops on the beginning stitches, the edges here, they're way down the bottom, otherwise you're gonna drop them, okay? And then I'm going to start making around 20 rows with this pink. I'm gonna leave a little tail so I can seam this part with the cat after. Oops. And then put the yarn inside the yarn guide and start making the rows. I'm gonna turn my counter on as well. This digital counter is good because it counts both ways. Since the reader is right here, there's a magnet here. And then here, make sure you go always 1 needle further so the yarn goes underneath here, and on the way back the stitch does what it has to do. So guys, I'm going to be making 20 to 30 rows, but a total of 100 rows for this panel here, and then I'll come back with you guys with this panel ready. just to, I'm gonna show you how to cast off quickly, and then I'm gonna show you how to put this beautiful cat together, if I can do it. Let's see. So I just finished here with my made 100 rows. And then now I have this for the pockets. I have 20 inches or 50, around 50 centimeters. And I'm going to leave this attached just because I'm going to use to make an edge, a crochet edge around it, so the pockets, they have a little more structure to hold the weight of whatever you're gonna put inside them. And then now just cast off the stitches with a contrasting color of yarn, so we can easily bind them off later. You can do one at a time if it's easier for you. I like to do a few at a time. So just bind this off and I'll come back with you to see what we're gonna do next in order to get to that same cat that I saw on in that image, that AI generated image. I think it's AI anyway. It looks like AI to me. What do you guys think, is AI or not? Okay, so now this is gonna be the last part I think I'm going to put together. It's probably gonna be like this, so this part here I'm going to leave to the outside so I can flip it over and make the pockets just like this. Let's see. And leave this yarn attached to bind off later. So I decided to start with the body, make what I normally do for a beanie. Don't cut the yarn because we will be using this to metro stitch after. So do this on this side. Make sure you make knots on all the color changes here. You can make 3 if you want, 3 knots in each one of them. And just leave them as it is, because they're gonna be hidden anyway. Try to put this part down as well, down to the bottom here. So I'm going to be doing this in all the sides, and then I'll come back with you to put it all together and leave the space opening here, the opening here. Now that I close them all, make sure you place the color changes to the inside so it's not visible on the outside. And then place them one on top of the other. And then on the one side, I'm going to seam all the way to here, because this is gonna be the bottom of the body. And on the other side, I'm going to seam only halfway. The stitch that I'm using, I'm going to use one tail for one side and this other tail for the other side. The stitch that I'm going to be using is the metro stitch. Just gonna join this first bit here, this way. And then fold it in a way that you can follow along with all the same stitch. So I like to fold like this and just keep following a line on my stitch. Just gonna be this one here. So every 2 rows as well. And then here, 2 rows here. Then 1, 2. So this is the metro stitch I'm going to be using on the top and on the bottom as well. So we have to make sure we're gonna match these stripes when we get there. So just seam this all the way until you reach the other end, and then I'm going to seam halfway here just before the stripes start with the same stitch and the other tail, okay? And then I'll come back with you guys to see what's gonna be our next step after this. Now here's my body, and then I'm going to attach the tail and everything after, but what I'm trying to figure out here, and I already added some stuffing here on the back, and also I'm trying some stuffing on the front, because what I want to do is to make that same thing that the one of them had, is to just be able to put a mug here. Guys, you guys let me know if you have an idea for this, but I want to be able to put the mug here. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna add stuffing here, and now mattress stitch this part here all the way until here somewhere. And here you can either, I think you can probably make a pocket out of fabric or something, and then so you can add the cup after, just like this. So this is how I'm going to be seaming. I'm going to bind this off and maybe close the inside a bit here. And then I'm going to cinch all this and close it. And I'm going to mattress stitch all the way to here somewhere. And then I think, I don't know, I think the best way is just to add a pocket, a fabric pocket, just seam a fabric little pocket, and just so you're able to, or don't even do anything, just leave it like this. I just think a pocket would look better, would be a little better. You can probably use a stocking and just put the stuffing inside a stocking. Sometimes I use stockings to put my stuffing when I don't want the stuffing to come out of the fabric. Sometimes I do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and mattress stitch all the way to here, close this, and cut this. Make a knot here as well, and just put the stuffing in. That's what I'm going to do, I think. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back so I can add the other little bits and finish this cat. Now cinch all the legs and the tail and add some stuffing as well. Make sure you close all the knots inside. Now after I added the stuffing here, I'm going to graft this tail on the back, just like this. It's already starting to look like a cat, and I'm really happy about it. So I'm going to add always in this same stitch and go around it, just with this seaming here. So there. Let me see here. I'm going to the other way around. So pull this tail so it's small, short. And then put through this first stitch this way, going up like this, and then this second stitch as well, just like this. Let me see, it's not twisted here. So here and here, this way. And then pull it tight, and then go to the very next one here. Don't need to be 100% accurate on the right spot on the other side, on this side here, but it's important that you close all the stitches, that you bind off all the stitches, okay? I'm going to see if I can put it closer for you guys to see, because this is the way I'm going to do the legs on the front as well. So I'm going to put one leg here and another leg here after this. And for this stitch, if you leave this tail, it's always easier to see where you have to put the next stitch through. So I'll be seaming the whole way around, and then I'll come back with you. And here is our little guy. It's getting shape. And now here, what I did was, I want to finish here. I'm going to bind off this side so I can make the little ears. And so leave the tail on this side and then match the stitches one by one until you get to the other side, so you know. So you know you're gonna end up there. We need to get here on the last, when we put the last stitch inside the other, and just bind off just like this. Just pulling one stitch of each opposite side inside the one before. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way until I have a little opening space, and you can always already add the stuffing inside until it looks like a ball. You just add a marker like this so the stitches don't open while you do that, and then add stuffing to make a big head. I hope I have enough stuffing here. I think I do. And then on the top of the head we're gonna embroider the ears after this. So something like this. Make sure you arrange the stuffing in a way that the head's round. I'm gonna make my stuffing better, and then I'm going to finish this all the way to the other side so I can seam the ears after this. Now for the next step, before we attach this to the rest of the body, I decided to make the face features. I already added some stuffing inside the nose. That's gonna be right here. But before I make the nose, I want to finish the ears. So for the ears, what I did was just attach some yarn here so I can first seam this to shape them. So I just make a knot and then I hide the tail on the back after. This is not gonna have much movement or anything, so you don't have to be very worried about how you're gonna hide these tails or anything. So all I'm doing here is just really seaming it, so to give it a little bit of shape, and just put some stuffing inside as well, but not much, and go all the way to the other side to really shape them, seaming through the, you can make longer stitches as well. And then I'm just gonna show you here a fast version of this, because this is just what I'm doing really, is just seaming with the yarn. And then to make the knots through this part here so you can hide them easier. And then just hide this way through, just through here, just like this. And then for this part here, I make a double knot and I put this inside the stuffing so it holds the knot. If you know a better way to do that, just let me know, but that's the way I'm doing it. And try to always make in a similar way on both sides. If you know a better way, let me know in the comments, because even though I make these tutorials, that's not my favorite thing to do. So here, what you normally do is you go if you go in this way, just put the needle through a few stitches every time you make one of these ear features, and never pull too much, okay? I want this slightly longer. Try to go through the stuffing as well, just to hold the stitches a little better. Arrange the stitches before you make the final knot, and the knot I made just like this. And then try to pull it inside that way. Okay, so these are the ears. Now for the nose, I'm gonna grab a little bit of pink. I want a pink nose, a pink triangle nose. And I'm gonna actually make all the embroidery on the nose before I seam the nose to the face. Let's see this. I want a little triangle shape. So I'm going to start right here, a little bit underneath the middle part of it, and then up high like this, and into the middle again. Just go over it a few times. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cover the cinched top with the nose as well, and try and make a triangular shape, which is how you reproduce a little cat nose. Could have went further that way, I reckon. But try to go always in the same line of stitches on the top there. I mean, same row. And then I think I'm happy about it. So closed. That's how it's gonna look like. I think that's okay. And then you can always make a knot with both ends. Always be careful not to squeeze the yarn too much. And there you go, guys. This is our cat face. I think it's pretty nice. I like it. Anyway, now it's time to attach the face to the body. This has to sit flat, so we have to attach right there on the bottom there. Just like this. And the way I'm going to do that, it's exactly the same way we did the nose. Just put the tail up here a bit. And then match both bottoms here. And start seaming. I like to go one stitch at a time, so it's so it is very well seamed this way. So one here, and then one here, and then one here. And then just match as you go with the place you think it should be. It's not really a right way to do that, it's just by eye, really. So I'm going to do all around it. And then after this, we're gonna see how to seam the pockets underneath, and then after all of this, the little legs to the front. Now this is how our little cat's looking like now. Isn't this adorable? Because we'll need some weight on the other side to sit this on top of our couch. I think I'm going to leave a little bit to the other side just to have some weight on the other side as well. Otherwise this is gonna drop. And so I'm going to be making an extra panel here for the pockets. Now, if you're gonna make this in tubes, just make extra rows to go all the way to the other side. I would say 140 rows for each panel. So then you can seam here on the bottom, okay? So I'm going to bind off these stitches now. I'm actually only gonna bind off these stitches, okay? For now. I'm going to bind off, and then I'm making another. So to bind off, you just bind off like this. Bind off all the stitches. So I'm going to bind off this side. And then I'm also gonna bind off the other side as well. And then after I make the pockets, because I'm going to be making another panel for the pockets. As I said, it's gonna be around 30 to 40 rows for the pockets here. I would say 30, just by looking at it. And then I'm going to seam the pockets on the top. But again, if you're making tubes, just make it a little longer so it goes all the way to the other side, and then you can still fold it on the bottom here. I would say 140 rows, okay? I'll leave all this on the link down the description below if you wanna follow for this part here, but I'm going to be making another panel to seam right here on the top, and then I'll come back with you guys just to join the rest of it. And then now here, as you can see, it's curling a lot, so I'm going to be making an edge, crochet edge all around it. So I attached the tail here to just make, just bind off these stitches on the top. This is the same way I did before. Just like this. Put the hook through, yarn over, pull it all the way to the other side. And so I'll try to make the stitch a little more tight, only because we need these pockets to hold the weight of the things we're going to put on top of them or inside them. So just make sure the stitches are tight. So I'm going to repeat this all around, all the way until here. And then I'm going to start making my way around the entire piece, okay? Here, I'm going to be making one single crochet to every second row. So I'm going to make a single crochet, skip one row, single crochet and skip one row. And on the bottom I go through, I'm gonna go over each stitch with single crochets as well. See if the curling stops. If it doesn't, sometimes you need 2 rows of crochet. I'll be making one more row with a beautiful edge or something, okay? So I'll come back with you then, but so go all around the entire piece from here to here, then here, 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 and back to the beginning. And to quickly show you, that's how I do along the side here. So I skip one stitch, one row, and then I go through both layers and pull the stitch. Skip one, go for both, and make the stitch. And this is how I'm going to be doing here along the side as well. Okay, now finish the pocket here. I actually divided this in 3 pockets only by seaming like up and down like I did. Exactly the same way I did with the ears. So I made 1, 2, 3 pockets because the remote controllers, they are slim, so they will fit here. And then here I tried this on my couch, and that's the position I got. So you try on your couch. Some couches are different. Mine is not very wide, so this is perfect just like this. I'm going to start on the tail here. Just put the yarn through and make a knot. And then really we're gonna seam the same way, the same exact way we did for 2 stitches here. And then it's a little difficult to show even, but try to follow along the cat and the design, or even just in the right in the middle. If I maybe just flip it over. Oh look, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to fold this like this so I know the position. And then I'm gonna flip it over and just go through here and then here. Just like this, just to, just so it stays in place when you wanna add the cups on top of it. Just like this. And then it's gonna be very rough, but I kind of think this should work better than the other way around, Yeah, that's it, guys. So I'm going to keep following that line and maybe going a little bit more inside because this part of the body I made a little smaller. And then all we need to do after this, it's add the little legs. So in one of the design, the leg was attached here, and then you can attach the leg straight on the panel here, but it's gonna be a little harder to put the remote controller through here. So I'm going to attach my leg here the same way that I attached this part of the head. And then as you can see, he's almost ready. I put already this leg here, and I just wanted to show you, in case you don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to put this yarn through, so when you cast off from the Sentro 22, just cast off with the same yarn, because what I'm going to do is just cinch on both sides, because I realize it's just much easier to do this way instead. So after you put through all the stitches, just cinch it, make a knot. Make sure it's tight, make a knot. If you need more than one, just make another one. I think it's a good idea actually. And then place right in this first stitch here. Let me see if this is all right. And then it's really free-handed, guys. Like there's no right way to do that. Just try and put in a position that's gonna be perfect to that's gonna make the cat balanced when on the couch. So I'm going to film and show you how it looks like on the couch, but this is our cat. I might even seam a little bit here so the head's more facing like this because I like it better. And if you find a solution for this pocket here, I would love to see your solution. Let me know in the comments below or share in my Facebook group. If you're not part of the group yet, the group's down in the description below. I post a lot of free PDF files and everything over there, so make sure you go and join the group as well. Guys, thank you all for watching. Let me know if in the comments if you like this tutorial. This was a lot of work, so I would really appreciate if you can leave your like there. Subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a great week ahead. I'll leave the link for the cat instructions if you wanna print the file as well with all the pieces that you need for this cat. I'm going to leave down in the description below for you guys. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend ahead. Bye!